How's everybody? I hope you're doing good. It's Friday. Anybody got any plans for the weekend? Let me pull you guys up here on the computer. So today we're going to be painting a metallic mermaid tail. Kind of excited. It'd be great for paint parties, mother-daughter type parties I can do online. In person now, and I'm gonna have it available in art kits. So I pre-cut it out. We can paint it on canvas or on wood. So I cut it out on the wood, and I base coated it in white. And so now we're going to just start painting. And I'm just taking a blue, darker color blue. And then I have all my metallic deco art paint. I have sapphire, some turquoise, some amethyst, emerald, a rose quartz. I'll tell you a story about that here in a second. And lavender, and then I have gold. So those are the paints we're going to be using. Whoa, almost forgot. We need some black and some white. We got some black, we got white. So we're gonna start with the plain blue, not the metallic one, just the plain one. And I'm just gonna squirt some on my palette here. And I'm using a 1-inch brush. And we're just gonna paint the whole, loosely, just paint the whole. And what I mean by loosely is if there's a little bit of white showing, that's okay. And I'm just going in X's or figure 8 form. We're just going to keep painting. I'm going to add a little white to my palette. And this is just Deco Art Titanium White. And I'm just going to get a little bit on my brush and add it to the top. It's just going to lighten it a little bit. And then go right back. I'm not even cleaning my brush. Going right into that blue again. And painting all the way down the tail. I got a little bit of white and then dipped it back into the blue. It just helps give it a little bit of texture, dimension. So, I had my granddaughter the other day, and she wanted to paint. I was trying to get her to watch a painting tutorial of Bob Ross, and she's like, "No, Mama, but I like to paint." And so I kind of laughed at her, and I was like, "Yeah, I know you like to paint." So she wanted to paint a mermaid. So I gave her a piece of paper as I was painting a barn quilt pattern. So I'm just going to let this dry here for a minute and put my brush in the water and clean it. And so she wanted the metallic colors. I was like, okay, Mama, I'll give them to you. Because Mama's going to use them. Well, she's like, she's painted 3 or 4 pictures by now. And she goes, Mama, you need more paint. I'm like, I do. And I look over at my paint stash. And I was like, why do you think I need more paint? And she's like, you need more paint. And I was like, well, Papa won't let me buy more paint. She's like, I'll tell Papa you need more paint. And I was like, well, what color do I need? I have every color I can make in, you know, pretty much any color. And she's like, you don't have pink sparkles. And that's how come we now have pink metallic. Because Papa was like, okay, and went and bought pink metallic for Sissy. So now Sissy can paint and have pink metallic. Or pink sparkles, as she calls it. So we just kind of, I was like, if Papa won't buy for me, he'll buy for the grandkids. So then I get more paint. So we're going to use the pink sparkle today, as Sissy would say. Okay, so then I'm going to take a round brush. This is a size 5. And we're going to paint in our scales with the black. Hello? You ready to paint with me, Rhonda? It's very simple. Very easy. So to make these scales, all we're doing is making a U. So I just dipped the tip of my brush in the black. We're going to start up at the top and make a U. A fairly good size U. And make it another U. And just keep making U's all the way across. I'm going to make this one a little bit bigger. Okay, and then so when we come down to the next row, we're going to start in the middle and go to the middle of the next U. Come from a middle and go to the next. And then we'll just come off the edge. Very simple. What are you crocheting today, Rhonda? So we're going to start in the middle again for the next row. And go to the middle of the other U. You can make these as big, as small as you want them to be. It may. So Rhonda said painting might help with her hand. And it just actually may help. So I'm going just to keep making the scales all the way down to the tail. off that. So all we're doing is making some U's or semicircles. And then we're going to fill in these scales here in a minute with our metallic sparkly paint. You don't have to make them perfect. You just want to make sure that you go in the center. One more row here. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to just put a little bit of each of the metallics on my palette here. Some of the blues, the purples, and the pinks. We're going to start with the purples and the pink here first. So this can be done one of two ways. If we're doing it at a kids' party, or even as adults, you know, we like to finger paint. We can finger paint, or we can use our brushes, whichever you prefer. Okay, so we're going to start with the pinks and the purples. We're going to take that same brush we were using. And we're going to dip it in some of the pink. And we're just going to draw some lines down the tail. Remember directions of the fins, so you have your lines going the same direction. So this is what I was saying, we could take our finger into the paint and swish down some lines. And I'm just using the purples and the pinks. I'm not washing my brush. I always start with the lighter and then go to darker. I'm even going to put some up here. On the end of the fin. There we go. I'm going to wash my brush this time. And we're going to start with the greens at the top. Hopefully by now your scales are dry. If not, we will, you can blow dry them or wait for them to dry. I'm just going to go ahead and go with it. So once again, we can, you know, bring in and, you know, dab on some of the green with our fingers. You can use the brush. I'm going to use the brush in some of the smaller areas. Now I'm just going to go to the darker green and do a few. I'm not filling in the whole scale, just a little bit, because we're going to come back and add more color to them. Okay, let's go to the blue now. And as you can see here, I didn't rinse my brush, so I'm getting a mixture of the green and the blue. And now it's getting to be more blue. Now we're going to go to that darker purple and finish it off. I did not rinse my brush, so I'm getting a mixture of the blue and the purple mixed together. Okay. Just getting a little more of that purple. There we go. Now I'm going to rinse my brush. And as we're letting those dry, we're going to work some more on the tail. We're going to take some of the white and we're going to draw some lines going down the tail again. And then we're going to take some black. All I did was just take it and wipe it on my towel. I didn't wash it, so there's still a little white in there. Now I'm just dipping it into the black and adding a little more lines down the tail. Then I'm going to take and just kind of zigzag it across. Now I'm going to wash my brush. And we're going, where the green is, we're going to take some darker green and we're going to just put some around on top of, in the same scale as the other one. Then we're going to go to the blue, to the where we have the darker green. You can use any colors here you want. It don't have to be these colors. You can use just plain paint, acrylic paint. We're just using mermaid colors. Then I'm going to come in to the purple where I have a little bit of the blue and just add some purple there. The nice thing about this painting is there's no rhyme or reasoning. You're just painting, putting dots. Very therapeutic. Now I'm going to come into the pink where I have those purples. Just at the bottom. Just like that. Just like that. So now we're going to add some gold. I'm washing my brush. And we'll get some gold on our palette. You don't really need much paint for this project at all. Just a little bit. So we're just going to add some swooshes. And yes, in the paint world, that is a technical term. Along those top scales. Just a little bit of gold. Here and there. Okay, and then I'm going to just wipe my brush off, and I'm going to grab some white, and we're just going to bring some white down into these other scales. And all I'm doing is just like a little tick. No special stroke needed. No technical stroke. Then what I'm going to do with the white, I'm going to take it and kind of loosely highlight some of the scales. And I'm just kind of going over them just to give a little dimension. I'm not even going over the whole scale. It's just wherever the brush ends with the paint. If you have some puff paint or some glitter or something like that, that would be cute as well. So very simple. If you want a little more color in the bigger scales, you can add some. So we'll just go back and fill in a little more of the space. No big deal. But that's our mermaid tail. Very simple. An easy project. So if this is something you would like in a kit, an art kit, it'd be done, you have the choice of a canvas or a wood cutout. The kits come with all the paint needed, which will be the metallic paints, and then the background paint. And it will come with the brushes and a plate to put your paints on. All you would need is a cup of water to rinse your brushes. Or we can do a paint party, which we can all get together and have, you know, your kids or yourself. We can paint it, or we can do a virtual paint party. Either way, he's too cute. You could put it and make another sign to go here with it. This is mermaids only, or you are mermanized or something like that to, you know, to go with the mermaid tail. So there you go. A quick, simple. I hope you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed it and got something out of it, I would appreciate it if you would like it. Give me a thumbs up, like my page, and maybe share so someone else can see this fun project. And until then, I'll see you on the next one.